We up and running.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo. I got so many things we gotta get done in the pre-show. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
A lot of shit went on this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first off, before we even dive into my shit, right? First off, hi, Tower. Use that Cardi.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was it?
What was that
Listen,
talking about? I heard she
listen.
was talking spicy.
She was talking spicy, and I am officially a bodega baddie.
Oh
Oh, you
Christ.
gotta relax. First of all,
Come on, dog.
second
Yeah.
off, how was
Yeah.
she talking spicy? I missed it. I don't know what's going on.
Well, the level of spice that she speaks with is, something we're all familiar with. It didn't change. Like what you get with her on stage, on screen, reality TV, it's all the same. Um, she was calling people, Dunkin' Donuts eating MFs. Like it was she was going ham last night, but it was all in fun. She definitely played to the crowd. But yeah, for this to be her first tour, it was pretty impressive.
This is her first tour?
She didn't tour the first album.
That shows you how out of the loop I am.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So she played songs from that. She played some they had a couple songs played from her mixtapes. She didn't perform them, but in between her sets. But yeah, it was a cool show. And a good
And
group.
so she had the situation with Bia, who's from Massachusetts. So enlighten us on the situation here, because from what I understand, she set a bar from the actual disc record in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and the crowd supported the bar.
The crowd supported the bar. It's funny because I was waiting for the song to see if she was A, going to perform it, and B, going to clarify why she made the record to begin with. She only played it, and she was like, listen, don't go getting her comments, starting up some stuff. It is what it is at this point. But but she kept mentioning, we in Boston, y'all just have a tea party. She must have said it like 3 or 4 times over the course of the night. And then that song dropped, and I was like, oh man.
So
But she
you
hit
pain to what?
she hit the first bar,
Right.
and she said, what? Name 5 Bia songs, gun pointing to your head. Music stopped. And she's like,
Nigga.
Got quiet as shit.
talk about uncomfortable silence.
Yeah.
It must have been like 10 seconds. And then she
And
went
her
back
state
to
is
the song.
crazy. Nah,
Oh,
and her
man.
state is crazy, bro. And her that's come on, man.
The
I was
capital,
like, okay.
the capital of her
The
state.
capital of her state, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, bro. That's incredible.
If I'm not mistaken, did they play the cricket sound?
Nick.
They might have played the cricket sound, I think.
I know you fucking lying with that, dog.
Oh man, it was a great time, man. It was a great time.
Move over, 50.
Oh my goodness.
Salute to
Yeah.
Cardi.
Yeah.
Y'all went out for drinks after that?
No, we had the kids with us, so we just brought them back to the car and got out of there. We got some pizza, and then they parked at the station, hopped in the train, or they were gonna hop in the train, but delays and shuttles and all that stuff got in the way, so they ended up Ubering in town. And then we, met up with them at the garden and took them to get some food, brought them back to their cars, and that was it.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm gonna go to Payne here in a minute. So I took the tell you what, Payne, can you cue something up for us, please? Because I went out for a drink recently, and this happened to me, and I wanted to bring it to you guys to discuss
What's going on? Hold up. Wait.
What happened?
Am I seeing that right?
They switch drinks.
Hold up. So what do you
Here's
ordered
what
a
happens to me. Here's what happens to me every time I go out for a drink. Fabian orders a Manhattan, right? She orders some spectacular version of the Manhattan, right?
Mhm.
And just by the way, the Manhattan is the most audacious drink. Like this shit is so alcohol forward, it's crazy. You're not
Mhm.
drinking that because you like a Manhattan. That's not why you're drinking it, right?
Mhm.
It reminds me of when we went to Corolla and we were drinking these fucking Maker's Marks. Nigga. There was nothing cool about Maker's Mark. There's nothing that tasted interesting. Nothing about it was you're just drinking
100%.
it because it's a whole bunch of alcohol, right?
100%. Yeah.
Me, I'm the type of drinker. I want my shit to taste nice, B. You see what I'm saying? So they always bring me out some shit with flowers and sprinkles and hey man. And so then by default, the waiter normally gives me the fucking Manhattan because you're a man and you're supposed to have this.
Yeah.
And we end up doing this awkward ass switch as soon as the waiter walks away. Does that
Mhm.
happen to y'all?
First of all, I don't drink. Secondly, I can see why it would happen because they probably assume the man wants a Manhattan. In that instance, usually the woman orders the pretty pink drink.
Here
So,
we go. See what I'm saying?
so
This
I
is
can.
drinkism. You're a drinkist. You're a drinkist. Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
bro. We ain't gonna do that.
My life heard that in drinkers.
Listen, I had an experience very similar to that. We went to St. Martin, and somewhat of an embarrassing story because I was the butt of the joke, right? So, as you guys know, I stopped drinking too. So we get to the table, everyone's ordering drinks. The waitress comes over to me, and I'm just like, "Let me get a Shirley Temple." It's like, "Who's that for?"
Mm,
I was like, "What do you mean it's for
yeah.
me?" No,
Yeah.
no. What are you drinking for real? You're playing a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, really, give me a Shirley Temple." So it wasn't until all the girls were like, "Oh, he doesn't drink," that it was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." And then even the person brought it out was like, "This ain't yours, is it?"
Oh, see what I'm saying? But so it's interesting. Both of you guys are in that same path. And honestly, I was just telling Fair recently I might want to go that way myself. But what drove you to making that decision? Like, what was the thing?
Um,
Medical history, some spectacular story. What's the issue? Family things. What was the
Mine
driver?
was a combination of things. I I think, and I still think, they were tied to those headaches I was having for years. Um, and the last bout of headaches that I was having, I was waist deep in transitioning out of my marriage. So I think a lot of that was tied together. In hindsight, it might have just been the latter and not the former. Um,
Mhm.
but I had gotten so used to not drinking by that point. It was like, all right, well, if I do any drinking per se, I'm just taking a sip of whatever Alicia got. But I haven't ordered a drink for myself since.
Yeah, for
Or
me,
had a full drink since, yeah.
it was a combination of things too. I lost an uncle at I think I was like 8 or 9. He drank a lot and his liver exploded. So that scared me. 1, 2, I was definitely afraid of my pops catching me drinking early. So I was not fucking around with that. And then when I started playing sports, I never wanted to. And then as I got even older and started DJing, the smell of stale liquor spilled in the upholstery on the speakers.
Ooh.
No, thank you. I'm all set with that shit.
Bottom shelf.
Even the top shelf shit, like once it gets stuck in that upholstery and it starts smelling stale.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going that way. Honestly, I think first off, I don't like the taste of alcohol enough
Mm-hmm.
to consistently consume it, which is why I always get things to mask the taste of alcohol. Well,
Mm-hmm.
then if you're getting all those things to mask the taste of alcohol, just skip the alcohol. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
You're getting all the other stuff you like anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then secondary, well, even I got a couple different things. Um, I think I don't like feeling drunk. I think I'm cool on that. Like I think that's a thing that's passed me by. I'm over it, right? I really value being keen and aware, right? at this age of 47, and that means more to me than throwing some shots back, and it's like it just means more. So that, and then obviously like we all grew up in black families, and every black family has dealt with drunk uncles
Hmm.
on some level, and I have those, and you see the fracture, the damage that they cause to families, right? Because you get aunties and grandparents who are constantly doing for this nigga who's 60. And I never want to fall into that space of being
Hmm.
looked at, you know what I mean? By my younger generation coming up behind my nephews and nieces and shit. I don't want them
Yeah.
to ever think that's my drunk uncle. Like, nah,
Hmm.
uncle's outside doing shit. You see what I'm saying? So, and then obviously I lost my dad to liver cancer because he drank his whole life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a multitude of reasons why um, that I keep thinking about this and then I never do it. But I think I'm gonna actually start that journey. I think it just makes sense for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this it on a more selfish note. This kind of sucks that a lot of my friends aren't drinking anymore because I was always the sober friend that got to laugh my ass off at the drunken shenanigans. I ate little standing on the white couch in Orlando,
Oh God,
just all types.
God.
So and now we got camera phones. I wish I had them back then when my friends was really drinking because a lot of the shit that went on, people wouldn't believe.
Hmm.
Yeah, nah. We gotta put them phones away. When niggas is drinking, put them phones away, B.
Got to.
Fuck
Got
out of
to.
here.
Got to.
Um, one other thing I wanted to get into before we start the show, right, is hey, and I got another video about an oh it. By the way,
Hmm.
this will hit you close to home. This is crazy. Hey, cue us up if you get a minute, cause nigga.
Oh man, what's going on there?
Oh shit, no sound.
Boy, you know you want a nigga. Cause it's so good, I should never be single. You love the way I throw it on the backhand style. Put it on a make her wanna wipe a bitch down. You love the way I throw it on the backhand style. Put it on a make her wanna wipe a bitch down. You love the way I throw it on the back, throw it on the back, throw it on the floor, on the back, throw it on the back. Oh,
What the hell?
What's going on here?
Throw the whole staff away, B. Throw the whole staff away. So Chick-fil-A, the whole crew got fired after this video came out.
Damn. The whole staff, they didn't keep no one to be like, yeah.
The whole staff, throw the whole staff away. The dude at the end of the video is the manager.
Well, you got to start from the top, so he got to go.
Throw the whole staff away.
But were they closed?
I don't give a fuck what. You in Chick-fil-A uniform. You at the location. You misrepresenting the brand. Chick-fil-A is the most conservative brand we know. That's why they closed on Sundays.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is impossible. This is impossible.
Yep.
Get them the fuck out of here, though.
They should have known better than that.
People in the comments are like, nah, they're just dancing and having a good time. It was off the clock.
Nah, if they were just doing like a little TikTok dance, I think it would have been one thing. But there was a lot of, and I'm gonna just be vulgar about it. There was a lot of titties bouncing around in that stream. Like, nah, we can't be doing that.
No, it wouldn't be a big deal if they weren't wearing their uniform.
Yeah, if there was no logo and because no one would know where they work. Like,
nobody would know they were employees.
Yeah.
Agreed. But this is the lesson in when you misrepresent in the brand, you got to pay the consequences of that. Secondarily, and then here's also Jaden Ivey. Now, we don't have a video for that. When you misrepresent the brand, they're going to get you the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
It don't matter what your intention is. Nobody cares about your intention. Nobody cares you want to go viral. If you're wearing my brand, I'm paying for you to be someplace. You got to follow my guidelines. The NBA said, yo, Jaden, you work for me. Our standard is that we support everybody. race, creed, color, or sexual identification. If you don't want to get with that creed, we're no longer going to employ you.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
If you want to dance with your titties out, go off. We love that for you. There's places for you to do that, but it's not going to be at Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the
If
worst
you want to
things.
go and your stand,
No, go ahead.
sorry,
Chuck.
what's that, man?
No, I was
No,
saying
like
some of
that's
the most harmful, worst things in history were done with the best intentions. So, like you said, it doesn't matter your intent.
no one cares. No one cares. You know what I mean? And Jaden, if you feel so strongly about your religious perspective, go be a pastor and preach your religious perspective. But you're not gonna do it in the NBA. Where they're celebrating Pride Month. Nigga, what are you talking about?
Or he's already breaking one of the biggest rules of being a Christian, which I tell a lot of hypocritical Christians all the time. You're passing judgment. That's not your place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's kind of trying to.
It's such. You're right. It's such a weird space, right? Because then you're also supposed to speak the doctrine of. It's such a weird space. It's such a weird space. Anyways, I'm not going to go into it. We'll have a different conversation on that. But I just found it interesting that Chick-fil-A, listen, there are a handful of corporations in this country you don't play with in terms of their brand. And they stand on their brand. I remember when it was a thing about, oh, Chick-fil-A should open on Sundays. And they were like, fuck y'all. We standing on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's still their business. I guarantee they're not going to stand on business for some employees who want to hold their titties in the video.
Nope.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
What episode we in it?
Episode 194.
Hey, let's get it then.
Hey yo, Donut White, no muzzle. Sparring Minds live every Friday. Let's go. Look, it's Sparring Minds. If you don't know the name, look us up. You know it's all facts when you got Chef Maine cooking up a couple of brothers who know all about the struggle. Black excellence, you know we just work hard and hustle. Whenever you want that urban talk, you know we keep it real. Mr. Maritime on the mic, yeah, you know the deal is real life. Hotel High Tower bringing you the feel. DJ Payne, keep it 100. Matter of fact, keep it a mill. Let's go. Let's go.
Episode
I was a big nigga, dog. We have to do that video, dog.
194 in the.
And not one of y'all said, yo, Chuck, like, don't have a salad, nigga. Not one of y'all said that to me when I was 300 pounds. Nobody said that, right? So we watch his video every Friday and y'all don't say shit. So really, fuck y'all, first off.
Yo, first of all, we was all being fat asses at that table that night because we was eating that fucking barbecue.
Listen, that drone was crazy too, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, God. Yeah, beyond crazy. Beyond crazy. I don't want to say ironically. Payne, can we do this real quick? Man Law is back on the Sparring Minds. Let's do something with it.
It's Man Law time.
Don't no different with your dog. That law. If you come up, don't forget about your dog. That law. That law. That law.
Sparring Minds listeners, Man Law is back. We haven't done Man Law in quite some time. But I think it's a missing feature of the show. Man Law, the purpose of Man Law is to give you some level of game that an OG should have gave you many moons ago. Or if you don't have an OG, here's your time to absorb it right now. So what generally happens in these Man Laws, I present a concept, the crew agrees, we stamp it in the book of Man Law, and we deliver it to those who need it. Okay? Before we dive into Man Law, shout to Little, shout to Chef. Those guys are out tonight. Your presence is still here with us. We're gonna get your vote through envelope, through mail-in. Here's the proposal, boys. Outside of your committed lady, men should never have sex with a drunken female.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
For one, depending on the severity of how drunk she is, she may not remember, which can also draw doubts into whether it was consensual or not. You gotta put yourself in that boat. Two, for me, the smell of liquor turns me off. So if I smell that on her breath, I don't want it anyway.
Whenever I think of drunken chicks, I think of the lady from 40-Year-Old Virgin. The one in the car talking about getting turned close or whatever. Yeah, I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah.
Trying to drive and all this. Yeah, let me out. Let me out, though. Let me out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Payne hits the nail on the head. It's the consent issue, right? That I struggle with in this conversation. You never just men should protect themselves from waking up the next morning and then consent being questionable. That moment of who are you? What am I doing here? I didn't mean to do this. It's a real thing. And so to protect yourself, just get a number and call her some other time.
Or don't spend the night.
There was a
No, God, that's not it.
Listen, did we just say OGs are supposed to be hipping you? You trying to? Oh man. Yeah.
The views of Anthony Hightower are not the views of the Sparring Minds podcast. It's network and its affiliates.
So there was a incident. I guess it was similar to this with my new celebrity crush, Takara Williams, the comedian, right?
Hold on. We ain't gonna do this. Hold on. What happened to Coco, Payne?
Nah, her and Donovan Mitchell pissed me off, dog.
You're not loyal, dog. You're supposed to stay through thick and thin, bro.
Payne is scoring, man.
Yeah, nah. Get Donovan out of here, dog. But so Takara Williams was talking about how she was at an event and she got tipsy and she asked someone to make sure she got home all right because she didn't want to end up in a bad situation. And she was in that state, like where she wasn't all together. And when she woke up, she was like, no, what just happened?
Oh.
You as a man, you're a scumbag for doing that, for one. Because she trusted you. And two, like I said, you don't want to be put in that situation because had she been not even spiteful, because she's well within her rights to be like, yo, I didn't consent to this. He kind of took advantage. You know what I mean?
Yep.
100%. Like, you know what I mean? So had she could have done that to you. You know what I mean? You never want to put yourself in that or anyone else in that situation.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I can't even fathom. I joke a lot. I can't fathom being with a woman and in the middle of that situation, her saying, wait a minute, what's going on? That's so crazy to me. That's so crazy. I'll get your number. We'll link up when you're sober. If you still feel the same way, we'll go have a good time. You see what I'm saying? But outside of that, fellas, it seems like it's a unanimous doctrine. So moving forward, fellas, do not have sex with women who are in a drunken state. Now, 2 hours from now, 3 maybe, I'm absolutely going to get my wife drunk. And whatever happens with my wife, mind your business. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have a good time tonight. You see, I don't want to worry about that. But I'm never going to have to wake up to no issues of, nigga, get the fuck out of my bed. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Anything else for what's required to have into the topic of the show?
Well, so since we're in man law and we're talking about OGs correcting you and shit like that, right? I did pen a letter in along that vein.
And now it's time for a letter from Payne.
So as I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have heard, Pooh Shiesty just got out of jail recently, right? And then he was involved in a situation where he tried to kidnap Gucci Mane, right? So okay, yeah, dumb YN shit, of course. I expect nothing less from YNs, right? Come to find out, his pops was involved somehow, right? So this is along the lines of that whole OG correcting you type shit, right? As a pops, right? Like that's totally the whole opposite of what you're supposed to be doing, right? So, dear Pop Shiesty, fuck off. You're giving us a bad name. You failed as a father. You failed as an OG. Go to jail with your son and start over. Get your shit right. Like,
Listen,
you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
his father's going to be the reason he goes from Pooh Shiesty to Shiesty Pooh when he gets back inside.
Oh, nigga. So what's the actual story? I missed this story. What's the actual situation here?
So
I heard bits and pieces.
Yeah, I was skimming through the article earlier, and it's like they were setting people up to come to a studio for meetings, and then I guess robbing them or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
Pooh Shiesty is contractually signed as an artist to Gucci. And
Okay.
I guess somewhere along the lines, he no longer wanted to be affiliated. So this whole scenario that was set up was to get him to sign the release to get him out of the contract.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they had.
We've heard of this before, right? So this isn't out of the ordinary. We heard it with Bad Boy. We heard it with Death Row.
Yeah.
We heard it with what was it? What was Eminem's thing?
D12?
Shady Records.
Shady. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we've heard this before. Okay.
I'm not sure if they had civil conversations prior to get to this point, before it got to this point, but it got to this point where, they were inviting Gucci to, the studio under the pretense of doing some work. They decided to meet at a off-site location in Dallas. As you know, Gucci's not from Dallas, neither is the Shiesty crew. So they met at this neutral location. Pulled him in the room, said, hey, we got to talk real quick. Pulled out the Yamin. It's like, yo, I need you to sign this.
That's crazy.
And, but what makes it crazier is, Shiesty Pooh had a ankle monitor on.
Nigga. Throw this nigga away.
Listen, this surveillance all
Throw
over
this
the
nigga
place.
away.
You're just asking for it. Like, you're asking to be caught.
Yeah, that, America's.
Wait a minute. I have a question. This neutral location, was it a studio? Was it a place where they would normally do business?
I think so, because they all knew it.
Where's Gucci's security? Is he on the level of traveling with security at this point in time?
I think he is, but I think under the pretense, you coming to meet your artist, you're not expecting any. But I think with the on and off discourse about, contractual, whatever, I think he might have. I don't think he was by himself anyway, but I think they were outnumbered regardless of what it was.
Well, it doesn't matter if he got the Roscoe on him. What would that doesn't matter who you brought with you, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
you got three Roscoes and there's 7, 8 next to you on the other side of the room.
Right.
What Crocodile Dundee say? That's not a knife.
Right.
This is a knife. That's
Yeah.
But the thing is, Gucci's flying over there. These guys didn't fly; they drove, so they carried whatever they needed to get there.
So
they knew he was coming empty-handed.
Yeah. Well, throw this nigga away. Throw him away. Throw the pops away, like Payne said.
It's like
throw everybody affiliated away.
Yeah, all 8 of them out of there. It's crazy what they did. And they didn't even
give them all 20 years. Give them all 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear free. I don't want to free my homie. I don't want to hear none of that.
Nope.
Yo, and
throw all these niggas away.
I grew up with a lot of street niggas, right? And I know dudes love their friends or whatever, but if you know for a fact your friend did some shit, knock that free such and such off shit. Like, you let them sit down and think about what the fuck they did.
Yeah. You gotta do a few.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, man. That was a good letter, Payne. I appreciate you. Let's dive into this. And I'm gonna pull out my notebook. I never pull out my notebook on the Sparring Minds, right? But I wanted to make sure I read this motherfucker word for word. Last week we talked about, and pardon me, Spar my listeners, I was dealing with some technical issues on my end, and I missed the conversation about women who hate men, right? And it was a riveting one because anybody on their social media timeline, when you go through, you can see any number of women who are online bashing men for whatever various reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Justified or not, you see it every day in this world. Social media is filled with it. But on the other side of that coin, there's a lot of niggas doing the same thing to women, right? So we ain't gonna let you niggas off the hook either, right? And so I got into a couple of heavy debates. Small minds listeners, if you remember my past in season one, I was getting thrown out of a lot of different groups and chats and things on social media because I was taking conversations too far. Right? I have since regressed in how I handle these conversations until very recently over our most recent break, where I went into one of these passport brother groups, and they were in there making the most spectacular statements. I got into an argument with one gentleman about his post, but I'm going to read you his post just so we could all be on the same playing field. Y'all ready for this, boys?
Let's hear it.
Let me buckle up.
I am a 54-year-old man from Detroit. IDKY, y'all keep investing time in American-born black women. I met a 28-year-old woman in the Philippines who has changed my world. She has all the values of a traditional woman, but none of the attitude, fake hair, and baby daddy drama that come with black women.
Mm.
Come with me while you can and leave the headache behind.
First of all, did he say she was 24?
28.
And he's 54?
He is 54.
Lock him up.
Correct.
Lock him up.
I mean, it's funny that he said that out loud, like proud too.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know what
I got a million questions on this. Well, let's start right with the first line. I'm a 54-year-old man from Detroit. Two things that immediately jump out the page from me.
Mm-hmm.
You're 54 years old.
And couldn't figure it out.
You just now trying to figure it out, bro? You're just now trying to figure it out at 54?
Mm-hmm.
What led you to be 54 and at this point? Right? What mistakes have you made in the oh so valuable dating stage? Hey, Tisha, what mistakes did you make time and time again to be 54 and single?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to own that part, right? Secondly, in this first sentence alone, 54 from Detroit. The population of black women in Detroit, and you couldn't find a good one, is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in Wyoming, bro, where you didn't get a proper selection of black women to choose from. I could see the error in that kind of selection process.
Yep.
I could see the error of you trying to find a really dope black woman in New Mexico and can't find one because the pickings are slim. Nigga, Detroit! And you couldn't find a dope black chick? This is the issue on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We aligned so far here, boys?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
This thing got me fucked up. Let's keep going, though. IDK, so I'm going to come back to that, too. So I copy this word for word. IDK, why y'all keep investing time in American-born black women. Come back, Payne. Come back, Payne. I ain't gonna let him off the hook. No, don't try to agree. Don't try to agree, Payne. Don't try to agree. Don't do it. Here's a couple problems, man. Here's a couple problems. I don't know. And ladies, Tisha, if you want to comment, let us know. Keisha, if you in the comments, let us know. Faye, if you want to comment, I don't know a marriage-worthy man who speaks seriously and uses the term IDK in a sentence. So immediately, you tell me you're not serious about this conversation,
Yeah.
right? If you're using IDK, that's first.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, keep investing time in American Black-born women. What does that mean to you? And investing time in?
A lack of, I mean, first and foremost, there's seemingly a lack of respect here. And, you know, he's generalizing a whole community of women for the mistakes he must have made throughout his journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my first question to him would have been, do you have any kids? Because if you do, then you're contributing to everything that you dislike. Or you have single-handedly contributed to what you say you dislike.
Yeah. I think we lost Chuck for a second.
Yeah, we did. And I don't
But
think he knows it.
yeah, that oh God, this dude. So this is going back to where we started last week, right? If you get cut over there, don't come over here and bleed on me.
Yeah.
Clearly, you were making terrible choices in the Black women you were dating, and now you want to generalize everyone else, right? Like, get the fuck out of here with that, because the minute that the Black women that you are bashing do that, now you're up in arms about them doing that. Don't generalize us. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and to Chuck's point, like, there's a few cities in America that if you have trouble finding a good Black woman, you might want to look in the mirror, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Detroit is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And then, so really quickly to answer your question, Ian, because he tightened my jaws, I had to do additional research on it to understand what quality of nigga I was getting ready to argue with, right? He has 4 kids with 3 different women, right? And so this tells me that your 54-year journey hasn't been traveled correctly, hasn't been traveled in a way that makes sense.
Nope.
Right? So Payne said it best. You got to look in the mirror a little bit on that, bro, and really have some real hard conversations with yourself. Now, there was a statement there that kind of stood out. This woman who changed his life. She has all the values of a traditional woman, but none of the attitude, fake hair, and baby daddy drama.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, this is so disrespectful. This is so disrespectful to the women of our community, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you would minimize the women of our community to a scope of attitude, fake hair, and baby daddy drama. That's so incredibly disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason you would ever disrespect Black women in this way is because you never saw a strong Black woman in your journey, right? But what do I always tell you guys? If your environment is toxic, change environments, right? And in this case, if he continues to see these type of examples, you're in the wrong space to find what you're looking for.
No, I wouldn't even say that.
Right?
I wouldn't even say that.
He's
in all the right spaces. He's just the wrong guy. he's bringing his same energy to all these same spaces. You said he got 4 kids by 3 women. That's 3 different spaces.
That's like, I think he's one of them dudes that go to a steakhouse and orders eggs Benedict.
Motherfucking Pain. This is what we're gonna do, Pain? This is what we're gonna do, Pain? This is how you gonna treat a Friday night?
This is what I'm saying, though. Listen to where I'm going with it, right? You go to a steakhouse, you order eggs Benedict. Now every steakhouse sucks. You know what I mean? Like that's. I think that's what he's doing here. Like, nah, you don't. Like, he's going for bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, of course, every race has good and bad women, right? And there's red flags in everybody. He's clearly been going for the red flags, right? And those 3 things he specified are the 3 things that he fucking is attracted to in the black women he's dated. Which is where that self-reflection comes in. Like, all right, so I got to reconsider what the fuck I'm doing.
So with this 54-year-old man from Detroit who uses terms like IDK, he is avoiding accountability at home by prefacing that he's trying to expand his options or whatever. And it's like, that's not the case. You messed up. You made the bed. And rather than saying, you know what, I wasn't the best, XYZ, now it's everybody else's fault. It's like, nah, that's not how the game works.
So let me ask this. Because it seems as though his goal, 2026 is a different time. But I'll say this. His goal is to find a traditional woman. That 2026, that could be a strange thing, right? Like, relationship dynamics have changed over time. Is he wrong for looking for a traditional woman in the way that we think? Is he wrong to separate himself from our universe of women and go overseas for what he perceives that to be?
In theory, is he wrong?
Knowing that 2026, black women in the traditional sense have changed, right? That narrative has changed to them. You're seeing a lot of women who are now into polygamy, a lot of women who don't want to live with a husband, a lot of women who want to be independent but there's a lot of that energy happening, right? Is he absolutely wrong to go shopping overseas for what specifically he's looking for in monogamy, head of household designations?
I don't think he's out of pocket for going overseas. I think he's out of pocket for specifically saying it's not in our race. You can go overseas. Africa's big as shit. There's plenty of traditional women in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So are the West Indies. Plenty of black women in the West Indies. You know what I mean? Like, but for him to say it's not an American born black women, I think is a cop out. And he's trying to take the easy way out and not point the finger at himself. That's all I think it is.
What he's doing is creating a narrative to justify his actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't, because he can easily just pick up and just go. And nobody knows that he's gone.
I want to double back real quick to a point Chuck said about it might be because he never saw a strong black woman. He may have, but there are strong black women that coddle the shit out of their sons and turn them into fuckboys. He could honestly be one of those.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And so then let me ask this. Here's where I was going earlier. This is why this kind of made me mad to where I invested a little bit of anger into this. It's because we all know black women and their powerhouses nowadays, right? But I think a lot of them, if you sit them down in a dark room, a lot of them deal with self-esteem things, right? And this nigga, in this moment, he didn't have to shit on black women to go overseas.
Didn't.
It was totally unnecessary. If that's your preference, then go off. But the shit on black women in the process was totally out of bounds. It was
Mhm.
unnecessary, and it leads to now let's see a 13-year-old, 15-year-old, 17-year-old young black woman who's struggling with self-esteem things to see something like this. It's like, damn, maybe we're not good enough. Maybe I gotta bleach my skin. Maybe I gotta act like these women in Wellesley. Maybe I gotta change and transform who I am so that a man would want me. Nah, if it's one thing I hate is seeing black women struggle with self-esteem issues, especially because of some fuck nigga.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That really burns me up. Right, really, really hate. Um, and then secondarily, even deeper. And I know this one, y'all be like, yo, Chuck, get up your soapbox. This type of stuff leads to the destruction of the black family.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Because you get one person who's chosen to follow this path and paint this narrative that there's something better than the black family. And I always put that in a high regard. So it really angers me when I see these two things happen in the same space, right?
Mhm.
The destruction of the black woman, the putting down of the black woman, but also putting down the black family in the same conversation. I think they're both totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Keisha's right. Social media does create this dynamic, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I remember Payne. You were talking about this last year. Like this battle between black men and black women needs to stop. Like it's really super corny. You see what I'm saying?
And it's
If we
us.
should be a champion of anybody, it should be that. You know what I mean?
And it's not a men and women in general thing. It's black men and women that go at it. Like you don't
Yeah.
see white men and women going at each other like this online. You don't see Spanish men and women going at each other like this online. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's us. And it's fucking sad. It sucks, man.
Let me ask you a question. So listen, man. I love black women. We talk about this all the time. I know it gets lost in a lot of things. I love black women, right? They are absolutely quintessential, right? Black women they come with a thing, right? They come with energy, for lack of a better phrase. But I think if you get the right black woman, one that's matured, one that's ready for love, one that's ready for that journey, that energy should and can be a benefit.
Mhm.
The problem is sometimes you could run into a black woman that's not matured, not ready for love, very isolated, very independent, and her energy can come off as dominant. The question here is, does that dominance scare off men? Because they all have it. We can be honest. All black women have that.
I think it only scares off a man not strong enough to be able to I don't want to say absorb it because that makes him sound soft, I guess. But if it's a guy that's not strong enough to be able to stand there, deal with it, and then not even combat is a bad word, but like regulate, I guess, that it might scare them away. Like there's some people that don't like conflict and they feel like a strong or a dominant black woman is too much for them, and it's just going to be an argument. Everything communication is not an argument.
Yeah. You on the same
Oh,
page, Ant?
I'm on the same page. I feel like they're running. They haven't. It's a loaded response. They haven't taken any accountability for their own actions, and until they do so, they're going to keep running into these situations. So this cat out here with this 28-year-old is going to mess around and do the same thing to her. But
Yeah.
he won't say anything publicly about women in the Philippines. He'll just attribute it back to the women here in Detroit. He'll just keep bouncing around like he's been doing.
And one of the things I've seen, just to your point, I think that's really important. One of the things I saw was guys in the group in response to him saying, "Yo," and these statements were crazy. The guys were saying, "Yo, you better tie her down before she gets Americanized." And again, in that statement, it's like, is it what does Americanized mean, right? Especially for like relating it to black women, is that like, oh, tie her down before she starts talking back? That was the energy they were giving, right? Before she starts telling you no. How many of just regular human responses to some dumb shit, right? Like if you're doing dumb shit, you should expect a woman to say, "Nah, fuck out of here. What you talking about?" That should be expected response. And I think these passport dudes are looking for women who aren't going to challenge them in that space, who are just going to be docile and just say, "Okay, my love, whatever you like."
Hmm.
That's a crazy journey. Um, Again, if that's what you want, go for it. But you miss the beauty of most black women, which is a dope black woman. The real good ones, the ones who deserve to get married, those deserve to be settled down, those ones, they're going to expect that you meet a certain standard, right? Because because if they're going to put their life in your hands, literally, you need to have shown that you're able to lead.
Hmm.
And if you don't show that, they have the 100% right to question your leadership. This 54-year-old nigga from Detroit doesn't want his leadership questioned and wants to date someone who hasn't learned to question terrible leadership.
Yeah.
Rather than transforming and being better, he wants to go to a space that's not going to force him to be better.
Yeah. And mask it as a preference.
Correct. Correct. Um, Disgusting work, and so I wanted to bring it to you guys because I couldn't let it go. Um, but I think the moral from this is like, yo, like, don't shit on black women because you have a preference. Just
Hmm.
let your preference be your preference. You see what I'm saying? And then go off and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Do I think you're goofy either way? Yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? If you want to be happy with a woman from the Philippines, you can do that. Life is full of choices.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, no need to put your foot on our neck on the way out. And I wonder how your kids look at you, honestly.
Mhm.
But that's a different conversation.
I mean, staying on preference, right? Because, we all have one, but preference in itself is just neutral. And a lot of times, I think we hide behind the word preference because it's just a lot of there's layers of frustration below it that just hasn't been processed, hasn't been dealt with. You know what I mean? So you got to start hiding behind the preference.
Is preference safe?
If preference safe,
Yeah.
yeah, it's safe. We all got it, but it shouldn't be used as a crutch either.
Yeah, I think a lot of people hide behind that as a crutch. You know what I mean? Like whether it's racial or size or height or something small. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people hide behind their preferences as an excuse. So it definitely happens. I've seen it happen a lot. So.
But that's where it gets blurred because like I said, people use it to overcompensate for any, I don't know, insecurities, any traumas, any bad experiences.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then they just throw
Mhm.
the word preference out there. And then once you hit the word preference, it's like, oh, okay, then I guess he's warranted in feeling that way. It's like, oh, that's not how that works.
You know what's starting to replace the word preference is aesthetic. Gotta be careful. People learn a new word and start
Dive deeper into that pain. Explain more.
So you go down these rabbit holes, and I've gone down rabbit holes before I started heart boxing of Pop the Balloon, right?
Mhm.
Stupidest shit ever, but
Yeah,
that's neither. a lot of the people that pop the balloon, instead of, like saying that they're not their type or whatever, they're like, oh, his aesthetic was off. Her aesthetic was off. It doesn't match my aesthetic. Like, stop hiding behind that shit. If you're not attracted to the person, you're not attracted to him. You could just say that. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, your preference is your preference, but don't use it as an excuse. Like,
It's just funny because like your aesthetic is their aesthetic. You guys are in the same place looking for the same thing. So something you guys did didn't work if it led you guys down here to this pop a balloon game.
right. Like,
But even in that space, right? Even in that space, I think that's the single dumbest thing I've seen in 3 years is that pop the balloon shit.
Mhm.
But even in that space, right? Even if the person up there is not your preference, that person is not your aesthetic, there's no need to trash them on the way out.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? Go find your preference. But to unload on them is unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
You see what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. We live in this world now. I think it came with social media. It had to have come with social media, where everybody feels as though their feeling, their emotion paramounts and trumps everything else. And that every thought you have has to be shared. Hey, shut the fuck up. If it doesn't benefit somebody, right? What good does it do you in that pop the balloon game to say, yo, like, you're fat and I like skinny niggas? When you could have just said, you're not my preference. Cool.
That's it.
Somehow, making your declaration the thing became so astoundingly important that we stopped giving a fuck about other people and having a conversation about them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I sit here all the time and I'm like, yo, this was soft. But how about sometimes a lot of this shit don't need to be said to?
Nope.
We come from an era where you didn't say shit because you got fucked up.
Yep.
Or you had to deal with the statement that came out of your mouth. They don't no longer have to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate.
and for a lot of y'all motherfuckers out here, y'all preference / aesthetic / type is what's getting in y'all way. Step outside the fucking box.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Your type might be exactly what the problem is.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. All right, man, let's go ahead. 194 is in the books. Passport Bros. Sparring Minds listeners, if you see any of these passport niggas and you see them trashing black women, at Charlie Hustle, please, so we can have some additional conversations with these niggas. Because, I think, listen, I make a lot of jokes, social media, a lot of jokes, right? I am a champion for black women. And I'm a bigger champion of black love. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no thing better than black love. And so I stand on that, and I support any kind of conversations you're having in that space, in social media or in podcasts like these. You know what I mean? Where we can talk openly. We don't have little 4 mirror time. Parting shots before we get out of here, boys.
My last thing on the topic is changing locations doesn't change your character. If the character ain't solid here, it ain't gonna be solid wherever you end up.
That's a motherfucking fact. It's a motherfucking fact. Episode 194, Passport Bros. Minds next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We will do it again. We'll have the chef. We'll have Little back.
Yeah.
And we'll rock and roll. So we'll catch y'all next week, man. We out here.
Peace and love, y'all.